Let's move on from Janet to Mariah, and let's talk about this old donkey Draya, who, girl, this is why sometimes birds like her, y'all just good at laying on your back. Just don't think and don't try to stitch together a sentence to try to make sense of what you're saying. Just be a thought pocket. Just be a, just go out here and continue to do what you're doing, which is, you know, being a black widow, except not killing the men, leeching onto your next victim, and then trying to get a baby out of them so that way you can get 3 hots and a cot. So the internet definitely views Draya and Jalen Green's relationship much differently than the two musicians' relationship, as in Mariah and um, Anderson Paak. So this story came out for a couple of weeks. We've been hearing some tea regarding that rumors are swirling after they were seen holding hands in Aspen. They were seen holding hands in Aspen again, as in Mariah and Anderson Paak on December 29th. So they've been spending a lot of time with each other. It's like Aspen is the go-to place that a lot of celebrities go to. First of all, I became aware of Aspen because Kyle Richards would always go there with her family. But now that Mauricio want to be out here having his midlife crisis, that's a whole nother situation. So she's been spending a lot of time out there. Recently, Jennifer Lopez, who was dressed in her little cowgirl regalia, was hanging out there with her people. And most recently, Mariah always goes to Aspen. So I don't think she and Miss I Don't Know Her have bumped heads or bumped into each other while they're in Aspen. If they do, they probably just Mariah would give her a glance and go about her business and be like, oh, keep Miss can't sing for shit away from me. But Mariah's been out here living her best life with Anderson, and people have been shipping their relationship because they have a 17-year age gap. But the person who has a problem with it, it's bird brain on the damn left, Draya. Who, what is her profession besides spreading her legs and having babies with athletes, similar to Evelyn Lozada, and Evelyn Lozada's even bird brain of a damn daughter who had a baby with the game. So, like mother like daughter, this is how you learn. When you out here being a thought pocket, that's what you got to teach your kids, right? So Dre Michele faced intense backlash, as she should have, after weighing in on the romance rumors swirling around Mariah Carey and Anderson Paak. Now, the singer set tongues wagging after holding hands on a second dinner date in Aspen on Sunday night, which would be December 29th. Now, although Carey and Paak were all smiles and appeared cozy during dinner, it's unclear if there's any truth to any kind of romantical rumors. Now, the pair are working on new music together at Carey's Aspen studio. And it's like, yeah, they could be working on stuff. And when you have that chemistry with the music, eventually it becomes something else, as Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. But then again, maybe we don't need to ask them because we saw how that turned out. And they just wrapped up their divorce after 8 years over on New Year's. So their relationship they're finally officially divorced. I was gonna make that a topic today, but I was like, maybe I'll say that for another time. Well, quiet as it's kept, I don't give a damn enough of a damn to even make it a segment. So it says, however, it didn't stop Draya and Michele from adding to the social media chatter. She showed support for Carey while referencing the backlash to her relationship with Houston Rockets star Jalen Green, who is 17 years her junior. So just to let y'all know, here's the thing. And this is how you know this bitch is stupid. Mariah Carey is 55, right? Anderson Paak is 38. Now, Draya, I believe, is 40. And Jalen Green is 22. And she had a baby with him. And he's just starting out his career as a basketball player. So while she's out here trying to think that she ate with that comment, I am so glad you people went and dragged her donkey dumb behind in the comments. Because, like, sis, we see what that is. First of all, Mariah Carey don't need Anderson Paak money. Mariah is well off on her own. Just from her doing her little Christmas shit that she does every damn year. That's like enough to last her a lifetime. Like, she don't need to put out no more music. She makes enough money off the back end of her Christmas catalog. But what are you out here doing? You have to continue to find rich men and athletes to spread your legs to with however eggs you got left up in your cootie cat or uterus, if you don't want to be specific with it all, to try to get pregnant so that way you can continue to have 3 hots and a cot and a roof over your damn head and possibly some damn child support to keep you financially stable. Which, let's not even get into the conversation about how you was out here messing with that little 20-some-year-old, but then your ex had to call the cops and kick you out of his house over some whatever the drama was with that. This girl is a mess and dumb as hell. So She wrote, "That's a 17-year age gap smile." She wrote on Instagram, "Go Mimi with y'all selective A," and then put like a bunch of, asses, I guess what they was trying to say. So we selective? No, bitch, you stupid. Because you thought you ate with that comment, but you look like Boo Boo the damn fool. Or it's funny, I don't understand how all that forehead you got, but you ain't got enough brain cells up in your head to even formulate. That didn't even make actual sense to what you trying to equate your situation with Mariah's situation. Anderson is on the later side of 30, which means he's gonna be 40 in like 2 years, probably this year, and then obviously good January to start it. I don't know when his birthday is, but in the next 2 years he'll be a 40-year-old man. But he's in his late 30s. So 30s, when you're in your mid to late 30s, you already pretty much have a sense of who you are and what you stand for and that sort of thing. You really get a sense of that when you hit your 40s. Mariah Carey is in her 50s. He's got kids, and I believe he's on the verge of divorcing his wife. Mariah Carey has twins with Nick Cannon, so she ain't out here trying to push out any more babies. She's good where she's at. She's content with her career, but they're working on music. Anderson Paak is someone who is talented, so he don't need Mariah, just like she don't need him. They're having a great time together. He's famous in his own right, and she's an icon. So Mariah don't need a relationship to define who she is or to have a sense of security. You're the one that does. But then, of course, you had some bird brains that agree with her and said, I mean, she has a point. It's never outrage for Mimi. She always has a young and tender. But then I'm like, but were they ever children, though? Was Mariah out here laying low and spreading it wide with 20-year-olds? The only young person we've ever known that she's been with is two people. And that is Nick Cannon, her baby daddy, ex-husband, and Brian Tanaka, who was her last relationship that she was in. But I don't know how old he is. I'm assuming he's another one that was in his 30s, but he was a dancer. So your man is 22 years old. He still got Similac on his breath. His balls, we still waiting for them to drop. But you know that sperm is potent. So you know what you was doing when you got with that 22-year-old. 22-year-old, the wind blows and his dick is hard. And plus, on top of that, a lot of these 22-year-olds, they just be so happy to get any kind of pussy that, especially if a 40-some-year-old woman who looks younger than her actual age is going to throw her coochie in his direction, you think he going to turn that down at 22 years old? And especially when you that young and you know that the world is your oyster and girls is going to be throwing a pussy in your direction, no time flat. You can't be that damn dense. You know exactly what you're doing because you are one of them type of girls, like I said, like a Evelyn Lozada, who's a professional pussy slinger. Y'all go out here, y'all chasing these athletes or these famous people, well, just athletes in general. Y'all chasing after these famous people because y'all know what that gives. That keeps you with a career, or that keeps you with a little coin tada in your pocket. So now, as the heated debate continued, one accused Draya of being a gold digger, arguing the difference is Draya is dating 20-year-olds for survival because she doesn't want to work for her own. Mariah is richer than the men she dates, and they aren't the same age as her kids. Because that's true, her kids are, I think, the same age as Jennifer Lopez's children, which is like what, 15, 16? Another person said, tell Draya that if you subtract 17 from Anderson's current age, he'd still be old enough to drink and still years older than Mariah's kids. One user replied, Draya's baby daddy and oldest son were born in the same year. Oh yeah, and that part. The child Nico, who I believe she doesn't even have a relationship with. Quiet as that's kept. Another person says, someone needs to remind Draya that Mariah is not dating a man or had a baby with a man the same age as her son. Ain't that the pot called the kettle black? Another person said, and this is all women speaking on this too. So shout out to the women, the black women, because they're the ones in these comments. Another person says, tell Draya that if you subtract, oh wait, I think I read that one. If you subtract the 17. Another person said, don't be dumb, Draya. Anderson Paak is almost 40. Your baby daddy is 22. Now, Draya and Jalen began dating around August 2023. The couple welcomed their first child in May of 2024. The relationship raised eyebrows over the considerable age gap, and the couple came under scrutiny. Joe Budden branded Michele a predator while addressing the topic on his podcast, saying if you want to F a 21-year-old, cool, but now you got a baby by a 21-year-old, you are a predator. It's too many horror stories of athletes losing everything they've ever had because they are not insulated, because they are no barriers, because there is nobody instructed them. And that could be it too. These boys just be so happy, like I said, to get some coochie flinging in a direction, but you know what you're doing. Just like, but you would also think like, okay, at 22 years old, he should know better, throw on a condom. But quiet as is kept, who's out here using condoms these days? Especially when you got all kinds of things that you could use to prevent yourself from getting HIV and things. Now, it ain't going to prevent you from getting STIs or whatever the case is. But for the most part, a lot of these young men out here ain't really thinking about wrapping it up. Especially when you have a lot of people who don't even like talking to their kids about sex or where babies come from or things of that nature. They think you're supposed to just, know not what to do. And sometimes, yeah, they be sloppy with it. But I don't even know at this point if he's taking care of his responsibilities. But it's like, girl, do you even care about these babies? Or do you just, like the person said in the comment, you just pushing out babies for survival because you need a way to be able to keep yourself, you know, afloat. Because we ain't seen you in nothing since they fired your ass over there at not Loving Hip Hop, at Basketball Wives. Sidebar, why is that show still on? That's another thing too. So Titanium Forehead, go sit your short but slow ass down somewhere, because you really thought that you ate with that comment, and you just sound like Boo Boo the damn fool. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of her and this dumbness that she tried to equate her 17-year gap relationship, excuse me, with Mariah Carey and Anderson Paak? We don't even know if they're in a relationship, but the speculation is what it is, and she decided to assert herself. So now we having the conversation. So whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below.